Hello, welcome to another episode of Gaming Dudes Podcast. I'm Bren,
I'm Spidey.
and we're just audio today for the same studio reason that we had because we're
Last
working
week,
on a
yes.
studio.
And we're together testing the 2 mic setup. So if there's any,
Echo at all, bear with us.
bear with us on this.
Um,
Bear with us on this this journey, because it's been a long time since we've done just audio.
I know it's kind of nice.
It
in
is
a
kind of
way.
relaxing.
Yeah.
It is kind of relaxing because there's no cameras on us to
And all I got to do is look at the
the time,
audio to
the
make
clock.
sure, and the clock. Yeah.
Yep. So
Just
if there's
like the old
problems,
days.
we can just minimize the gain. So
My mic's cord is like right here, as opposed to like being at the bottom of it.
yeah, that's
It's like okay. Anyway.
yes.
So a couple things that came out that are a big deal. One, Black Ops came out.
Yep, COD's not COD 6. I was going to say
Black Ops.
COD 6. That's not
Black
true.
Ops 6.
Yep.
I like it. Small maps, some good medium-sized maps, but apparently people online are already complaining that the map pack's too small. That there's not enough many maps on launch.
Which
But I'm getting to a point now where like people complain about games so much.
yeah, I think I'm at that point too. I even complained about it and I stopped because I was like,
I don't care if people are like, hey, I don't really want to play it. I don't like Call of Duty that much
You know what?
anymore. I don't care about that.
you know what? I may give this one a shot because it is made by Treyarch. That's the thing.
I will say theirs feel like smoother
Oh yeah, that's
for sure, but they've always felt smoother to me.
They've always felt smoother, especially Cold War. I felt Cold War was way smoother as an engine. In general, it's like there was the slide stuff, but for me what was nice is I could kind of get around it. It wasn't like so amazing the movement that it broke the game. It was very you still had to think about what you were doing. And that's not saying those guys who slide aren't impressive. They are. I won't lie. They're impressive. The guys who are willing to sit there and devote their time to figure that out.
Sliding's not that hard to figure out. It's just a matter if you put time into it or not. But it also helps being on controller, and I know you don't play on controller.
Yeah. Yeah, and those people, but I guess I'm saying I compare it to like Melee in some ways, where it's there is some form of a skill.
No,
you know,
of
like a
course,
skill
there's
cap.
skill gaps to the Call of Duty movement. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that the basis of it, slide canceling, is like not that
Yeah, it's very
challenging of a thing. But yeah, it still takes like time and stuff to get used to. And in Black Ops 6, you can slide cancel, but you can also full slide. And the full sliding almost feels better to me. Like I've gotten more kills off full sliding than I do slide canceling right away.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously it's good to do a mixture of both, but I was like surprised that the full slide feels as good as it does. And the Omni movement, it all feels really smooth. I don't really get the complaints. I don't think people are complaining about the movement, though. I just think at this point with Call of Duty, people aren't going to be happy no matter what.
Yeah, I mean that's I'm peeking a little bit in the red there, but we'll see. But
Your sounds
that
way
was
better peaking than mine.
that was interesting to me that no, COD, here's the thing. COD's always it's like with every game. There's going to be complainers about certain things, and there are some things you can complain about, but there are some things where it's like, dude, especially, you know what complaint always gets me? The microtransaction stuff. I don't really understand the complaint about that. Like skin packs, it's like I used to be that way, but I was like, dude, they need to make money somehow, especially if part of their game is free, especially with battle royales and such.
With Warzone, yeah, but Activision, like Call of Duty, they sell. It's like $70.
That's true. That's a little.
If you
that's a little
if you have
crazy.
if you have the battle pass, it's free.
It's
but-
it's very
So they're making money like hand over foot.
That's true. Activision's really.
But with
milking
Warzone,
people.
there's a lot of people playing Warzone who aren't going to buy the multiplayer, and in that way, I kind of get it. Look, money makes the world go around, dude.
It does.
Sucks, but companies want money.
They
okay?
do.
Do I think they're too greedy somewhat? Absolutely. We can't do anything about that.
No.
There's so much where like we can get upset about that. That's like, and I'm guilty of it all the time.
Same.
And we're so nostalgia driven with games that we love that like any variance in the slightest, I'm at least immediately going to say it's not as good. I'm not going to say it's
same.
bad, but I'm not going to say it's not as good as.
Same.
I'm going to say it's not as good as the original. When it's like, dude, what happened? It's the same thing with the Verdansk syndrome, where it's like,
where it's
we
like,
had it for so long. We're like, okay, I didn't really want them to get rid of it.
No.
But you're like, but at the time you don't care. You're just like, okay, I've played Verdansk so much, like give me something new. Then you get Caldera and it's got the newness on it, but it's like for the most part, it was pretty
not
bad.
Yeah, it was not considered good by the community.
But in a way, you're still kind of like not caring because at least it's something different.
Yes.
Like in general. And now I'm like, I wish I had Verdansk so bad. But it's like, okay, but we were ready for it to go.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where like if it's the same thing where if COD stayed the exact same it did from the beginning.
Well, especially COD. Think about COD 1. I've played that game. If you stayed,
I don't even count those.
If you stayed, most people don't, but if you stayed in that realm, that's like limitation.
That would be so boring.
Central. Like that's
COD 4 is when I think COD fully started.
It did.
Like actually started.
2 was sort of there. They were close. Like a lot of because when I play 2 and then I play COD 4, like even just the stories, I can see the blueprints from just the way the characters move to the way the maps are designed. It's just a little bit wonkier. Now, COD 1, no, that game was not good. It was not good. Maybe for the time it was. See, it's not like Halo. I feel like COD's different. Where with Halo,
it was good from the beginning.
It was good from the beginning. You didn't have this dark age where it was like, oh, you know.
It's not that COD was bad then. It's just I don't think it was what it was going to become.
Not even close.
Until 4. But Halo, it was what it was from square one.
Halo was the way it was from square one.
Combat Evolved, you're like, cool.
You're like, cool. And the fact that they did all those crazy things with the technology of the time, even as someone who's like messed with the engine, the amount of stuff they were able to accomplish. In the cutscenes, the guy was controlling the characters. Like he was taking control of them and moving them around.
Yeah.
That's how he did it, you know.
That's awesome.
Which it's so well. He said it was not awesome because they were so limited by.
Well, for him, I'm sure it's not, but I'm saying it's cool that it's that good, and he did that.
Especially, dude, the amount of tricks they do with that stuff.
But
in some ways,
I just think nostalgia's.
It can be.
Not even nostalgia's not even the word. Like you just when you're young, you play a game, and it hits so good. But if I went back to COD 4, I've played COD 4 again. It's still fun.
Yeah,
it's still a good game.
It's very.
I'm happy it is what it is now, though. In some ways, not in every way.
I will say, obviously, if you're talking smooth from a smoothness perspective, there's no way COD 4 was smooth.
I'm just like, is it better now?
Some ways,
I'm sure in some ways it is a lot, but we love to be like, no, Black Ops this.
I will say, Black Ops 1 might have been the time when COD was actually getting modern. Like, actually modern.
Yeah.
In a way. Speed-wise.
Black Ops was sick.
The first Black Ops was like...
I'm not trying to go back in the same conversations we always have with it. That's why I don't want to touch on it too long, because we could talk like we always do every time.
We could make a whole episode
I'm just saying, BO6 is fun. And I'm not even just with Black Ops. I feel like with most games, don't get me wrong, I do think that people weren't putting as much passion into stuff as they did. And I agree with that. But at the same time, dude, it's like, look, dude, you get what you get, bro.
Well, here's what people
You're not going to get the perfect experience these days.
Well, here's what people don't understand. If that's the case, if you're still wanting something that's like that, then go search elsewhere. That's the problem with people. They just complain that their favorite franchise changes. It's like, dude, you can find other games to play. You can find other things.
Yeah.
Alternatives. Obviously not as high quality.
That does not mean I don't think you should be criticizing people. And that doesn't mean necessarily I don't think you should be putting things on blast.
No.
For not being as good as
but you need to people don't understand that, and this is how I see it. This is what I started to do. This is what freed me from the constant negativity, even from myself, which, yes, some of it's warranted, but it's like the constant negativity. It was like, okay, back then they had limitations. With limitations, you had to be creative. That's the thing. Limitations kind of force you to be. I talked about this with our mom, and I was like, oh, this. It's like how old movies look, right? Like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. There's a certain look there that's very old.
Yeah.
But it's like very nice. Or old Star Wars. The camera is crap, realistically. Your phone could do a better camera than that.
Yeah, technically.
But some people like, but the way it looks is crazy. And the thing is, what people don't understand is limitations bring out creativity. That's how I see it.
It's like all the camera tricks people did, like in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and stuff. It's like, it's practical effects, which I like more in a lot of ways.
There are a lot of times where, if we're talking, there are certain things where it's impossible, but there are certain things where you have to do. Like, come on, a car chase, you're gonna do that fully in CG, or like a car crashing.
Yeah,
you could do that real. There are certain things, blowing up a building, miniatures. I mean, you can do stuff like that. You don't have to. There are certain things where it's like, dude, you don't have to use CG.
Yeah, and it's a lot of work though. But so CG. I mean, anyway.
Yes,
you're right, and I'm just saying that it's not. I just feel like you get, and I can be part of it too. I just feel like you get online and it's so negative.
Yes, it is.
New games comes out, I'm excited for. Negative.
It's unfortunate.
It used to affect if I'd play a game or not, because I'd be like, oh, the reviews are bad? Like, Like, I'll just skip it then.
That's the thing. You'll miss out on so many gems if you listen to people.
Throne and Liberty, they were like, people, first off, if a game has microtransactions, they are dumping on it immediately.
Same with Shadow of War, the second Shadow of Mordor game. People were like, dude, it's terrible. It's actually better than, maybe a little better than the first one. Yeah.
I have a friend who played both, and he says the same thing. He thinks the second one's better.
It's like, in terms of,
people are like,
it's like, I understand people being like, oh, I wish I could do, but it's like, dude, these companies are going to do what they got to do. It's EA. What were you expecting?
And they don't have to, but they're going to.
Yes. What were you expecting? What were you expecting?
And I'd rather have another one anyway. Like, so that's basically what I'm saying. Like, I get the negative. I'm not saying, hey, dude, don't say anything. Like, don't be upset. Like, I get it.
But
I get
stop
being upset,
stop being toxic.
Like I said, Throne and Liberty is a new MMO that came out. People were like frying it because they're like, there's microtransactions or there's a battle pass, and I'm like,
who cares? The thing is,
I get it. The people were like, if I don't spend money, it's gonna take me longer to progress. But it's like, okay, I'm sorry, man.
Well, we're in a new era. We're in a new era where it's like, this is the thing. It's the same thing with movies. Things will not be the same. They will not be the same.
It's like, bro, don't play.
Exactly. That's what I say.
It's how when I was doing a bunch of mobile game reviews, how I said stuff where I was like, dude, Diablo Immortal, people were like, microtransactions. I'm like, first off, it's a mobile game.
Yes. Duh. Yes, it is a mobile game.
Second off, I played the core game and had a blast. So, like, you don't have to be so upset that you can't play PvP with everybody. Like, it's not going to be fair all the time. Like,
no, you gotta.
I think it's ridiculous at what level it is, sure, but it's like, you don't have to. It's like Clash of Clans. You don't have to. You haven't spent any.
No,
you don't have to do that, and you're
not at all.
And you progress at a pace. Like, it's like you're still gonna progress at a pace if you're consistent.
I've started to finally being, I'm starting to do builder-based battles now, and starting to incorporate that into that. And now I don't have to spend as much gems and sacrifice my soul to finish this.
Clan games.
Yeah. Now I'm starting to learn that, you can earn things. See, that's the best part, is when you can earn things.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
if it limits it fully, that's a little interesting.
If it limits it fully, that's incredibly interesting.
That's
which Diablo kind of did in like Diablo Immortal, and that's. I get that, but Diablo, I don't play for PvP.
No.
Who's playing Diablo for PvP?
anyone who does that needs to.
Which that doesn't mean it's not fun. I'm just saying, like, have fun.
Yeah, agreed.
I understand. It's like playing. It's like Destiny 2 to me, like PvP. It's like if you could bring your own unique weapons that you're grinding for, like.
I understand.
Like, what's the big deal?
It's like I understand being upset. Like, here's the thing. I get you're upset. I've been there, but it's like, you can criticize the practice if you want, but don't let it be your sole criticism. Like, don't let that be something that dissuades you from playing a good game. Don't.
Like, you could have played a cool single-player Diablo game.
But you're like, oh, because there's skins.
Or a game you can play with your friends still. You don't have to do PvP at all. There's tons of content without PvP. Understand that the main end game in Diablo Immortal is PvP. Like, one of the main aspects of it. And that's kind of annoying, but it is what it is.
Yes.
Like, you still missed out on a good title to me. Especially for a phone game.
Why? Yeah, it's like, why? I just don't get it. I understand.
That's what I feel like when they say stuff about nowadays about, like, I'm trying to think. Yeah, Throne and Liberty. I said they thrashed it, but people are coming around a little bit on it. But it's like, dude, you don't have to buy the battle pass. Like, MMOs are about grinding anyway. Like,
yes.
Who cares?
Yes, that's the thing.
People are a little bit ahead of me. Oh,
they're
going to
be ahead of you. Unfortunately, dude. This is the thing. You have to face facts sometimes. You have to face facts that this is how things are. You can't just be like, oh. Like, dude, it's like how I feel about Star Wars, right? How bad it is now. Why? I'm not gonna sit here getting upset about it because I'm not gonna waste my time even looking at it.
Yeah.
What's the point? If you don't like something, don't do it.
No, you're right, and that doesn't mean like. I think, like I said, criticism's fine.
Criticism is fine.
I'm fine. I'm just saying, it gets tiring when everyone's just like, oh, not enough maps. Oh, this. Oh, this. It's like, guys, the developers made a pretty dang good game this time around.
That's the thing.
Like,
Treyarch.
Can we just let it be?
Treyarch is actually kind of good. That's the thing. I won't deny Treyarch. Honestly, I was more tempted for this than Modern Warfare 3 because of the way it. Like they really, with Cold War, they really proved me wrong in a lot of ways.
Prove him wrong.
Nice reference there. I'll have to put it on screen in our little background.
Yeah, I know. I know it. I know. Cold War was very good.
Yes.
I liked Modern Warfare 3, but a lot of people didn't that much.
Here's
I know
the thing.
There's a lot of people who hated the new Modern Warfare 2, and I kind of get that.
People need to realize that it's not.
I mean, I didn't hate it as bad as people hated it, though.
So
COD comes out and they're dumpstering it, and I'm like, guys, like, relax.
Well, you know what's funny about that? What's really funny about that? I had the first time I had that experience of people dumping on something I loved for video games was Fallout 4. Dude, they would dump on Fallout 4. They thought it was crap. They thought
it's not, though.
New Vegas.
That's the thing is, it's not. 4 is not crap. Though.
They thought Fallout 3 was crap. And they're like, oh, dude, New Vegas is the only good one. The fan base is so toxic, the Fallout fan base. If you want one fan base to be afraid of, do not interact with Fallout.
I know. Well, a lot of those MMO, or not MMO, but those old hardcore RPG people are
they're like
very
so gatekeeping.
But they're wrong. That's the thing is the 4 is not bad. They're just wrong about it.
They will scream at the top of their lungs.
I'm not gonna say
you
can say it's not as good, which is fine, but it's like that's what I'm saying. People are like, I want it to be the exact same, basically, but different. Which how are you supposed to do that?
They're not gonna do that. And also, those old team members you're talking about aren't there anymore. They can't replicate it.
I'm just saying with everything.
That's
true. in the broad of whatever these titles that we've played that we've grown up with that have been around a long time. People are like, we want you to do it the same but different every time.
It is, and it's not really possible to do.
And then anything they do that's different, most of the time people are like, oh, this sucks.
And what's funny is they still play the game. They complain about it, but they still play it.
Yeah. So it's like, guys, just play the game, man.
Just play the game.
A headache. I understand.
Yes.
I understand that you're like, hey, can we have more maps? Like, I wish we had more maps on launch. I wish we had ranked on launch on Call of Duty. But at the same time, can we just be happy that there's not really, it's not glitching that bad?
Can we just get along? Can we get along too? Can we get along?
There's a lot of really positive things like, hey, this is a pretty smooth launch when every system got it at the same time. Like that's
Yes,
pretty good.
and also COD. This is the thing about COD.
I don't know about the PC launch, but
at least they had the base modes
console launch
on the games. Like I'm saying, at least
they
they
capture the flag back, which is super fun.
I played COD on PC, and I still, when I do, I never had any issues with COD. Period.
Yeah,
Personally,
I definitely have.
I never did.
But there's definitely been errors on, and you can Matt too.
It was very rare for me, but
there's
maybe I'm just
it's
lucky.
Less optimized on PC. At least it was for sure, and it probably still is. Probably always will be.
It will be because you have to optimize 50,000 things.
But anyway, that's all I'm really gonna say about that because
it's very.
I'm just like I'm like people have actually been fairly positive about the new one, but it's funny how there's always something. It's always like
there's always something.
Yeah, this could be really good, but and
Look,
it's like okay.
I agree with you, but that you could say that about everything. This could be good, but
I like aim assist. The aim assist is like less close up.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone's complaining about that. At least people who aren't bad are.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, it's like why I don't get it
it's
either.
It's still there.
I am at this point where the negativity does get annoying to me too. It's like, dude,
it's like,
I get it.
It could be negative.
Yes.
I don't have to read it, just like you don't have to say it.
Yes, well, you also don't have to play it. That's what I'm trying to tell people. Stop buying these.
They're gonna stay it.
If you're disappointed, stop buying it.
The thing about Call of Duty is, it's similar to like the Halo crowd and stuff like that, where they're like, oh, they're gonna get another Halo game.
Yes, they will. And
they're gonna buy the next.
And it's sad
Call of Duty
because
game.
the whole remake, the Halo 1 remake we talked about the episode before, they're like, oh, we're gonna, it's like, dude, if anyone, no, I will say with Halo, that is the case where it's like, okay, you have trusted this
I will
company,
say Halo's trash us more.
Yes.
Than
this company failed Halo horribly. Like, that's different. What I'll say is, say what you will about Activision and all this blah, 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 blah. At least the product's playable, dude.
True.
I've played a COD game, like I said. Yeah, there's bugs and glitches, but that's games now.
You're going to get on and have fun. The thing is, if you stop being so weird about it, you're going to get on and you're going to have fun playing.
Yes, that's the thing.
Just like if I get on and play Halo Infinite.
Especially if you're a COD, especially if you're like a COD, like if you, this is the thing, and for people, and I watched a guy on YouTube, his name's Sour, he's a COD player. He was back in the day. He was like, dude, he talked about this same thing. He was like, if you're going to keep complaining about it, why are you buying it?
Yeah.
Do you want to be disappointed all the time?
Yeah. It's like if you really can't have fun buying it when you play it because you're that upset,
why
don't waste your money.
Yeah, don't waste your money.
That's like play a different game. Go like play an older Call of Duty if you want to.
That's like with everything. Why waste your time with a product you don't like?
It's like when I get a game and I don't like it, I'm not like, oh, this game sucks.
No, don't.
Like I got Sparking Zero and I took it back. I'm not like, this game sucks. Like, what's going on with all this? Like, too many mechanics. It's clunky. Like, no.
Don't be.
It's a great game that people like.
Yes.
I just don't like it, and I'm not going to waste my time learning it and playing it.
And if you want to, it's like if you want to give your opinion, that's fine. But you got to stop flaring up at people and saying, "Oh, dude," like you got to stop Don't drag other people into your negativity. Is all I'm saying. Don't be mad at other people for enjoying something. Let them enjoy the game. Okay.
Like, who cares?
Let them enjoy the game. Stop being so negative all the time.
Yeah.
And like negatively putting people in.
It is interesting. I wonder how good COD would be doing if they kind of kept the same game but tweaked it like for a long time.
It probably wouldn't have done as well.
I feel like you're right.
And that's the thing. That's the thing.
Obviously, money wise, it wouldn't have.
Oh no, because of dude. If it was still soldiers and no skins.
But some of the fun of COD is when a new one comes out and you're like, oh yeah, like I'm figuring out the.
And that's the thing.
The aspects to it.
People don't understand.
It's like a forever evolving game, which is kind of like fun.
Now, do I wish? Here's the thing, people. Yeah, I agree with you. That's learning new mechanics. Depending on what the game is, it's really fun. It's really fun to have to go back
testing new guns, like
testing new guns,
doing what you like,
learning the meta, doing all that, and that's what people
learning the spots, like figuring out 6 spots people don't know yet,
that people don't know about. And it's like, dude, if you like this stuff, like I said, just let it go. Just let it go, people. That's all I'm saying.
Just have fun, dude.
Just
it's
have
making
fun.
me stressed out thinking about you guys being that upset about it.
Just have fun.
Well, it's like COD was meant to be a game.
That's why
and always be.
That's why
just
I'm
fun.
not going up over to this dude and saying, "Dude, it's trash, brother," every time. I'm like, "Dude, this is the worst game I've ever played. Trash. You're dumb because you play it." That's the.
But you were kind of like, "Oh, just play Fortnite."
For me, I was upset about it, but that's just because I'm so tired. For me, I'm tired of COD, but I realized that was the wrong mentality.
You can have. That's the thing, though. You can have that mentality. It's not like you were being.
Yes,
like,
but
upset.
bashing it on the head and repeating it isn't gonna do anything. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you being like, "Hey, I'm tired of it," is like, "Yeah, that's fine. We've been playing it for like 10, how many years?"
Yeah, that's true.
Like, not everyone's gonna love it the whole time.
No, and that's the thing. You gotta. But I guess I'm saying people don't even need to. You can have your criticisms, but don't just keep going on the internet or even in person repeating the same thing, puppeting the same thing every year. Oh, this isn't what I want it to be. Even including me. I'm including me in this discussion. Why continue to be like that when everyone brings it up? Oh, dude, trash, not gonna do it, bad. No, that's stupid.
It's
stupid.
hard, there is a truth to the matter of the fact that it is harder to get into if you haven't been playing the whole time.
Yes, that's the thing.
That is. I'm getting older, dude. The fact of the matter is, my reaction time isn't going up.
Yeah, it doesn't go up.
It's going up for me in a sense because I don't think I've reached my peak of because I was never that good before.
Yes.
So I don't think I'm like at a point where I'm like, okay, I'm at max as good as I can get.
No.
Like, but that's not because I'm some sort of great gamer. It's just because I actually suck so bad
that
there's still progression like for me to do.
And the thing is, but
that's my reaction time is not gonna be like a swift, strapping young 14-year-old. That was a weird way to describe it, but like young buck coming in who's been playing Call of Duty since they were like 4, and it's been this fast one the whole time.
Yes, that's the thing.
Like I'm not gonna be as fast as them, which is where you have to get edges in other ways, or just get blasted. Like it's gonna happen.
Get blasted, or if you really don't enjoy it, stop playing.
Exactly. But for me, I've played every single COD that's ever come out.
You've really learned the ins and outs of almost everything.
So like it's been a system that I've played forever. Forever. So for me, it's not that I'm good, but it is because these CODs are faster than the other ones. It's harder if you're like, I haven't played COD for like 6 years.
Yeah.
I've missed like 6 games. Yeah. 5 games, 6 games. It's going to be way harder for you to get in and try to not to figure things out. There's a lot
of figure things out.
But I'm saying
it's still
not getting booty blasted for like.
I mean,
it's going to happen for a while.
I mean, it's an FPS. It's an FPS in general.
And it's going to happen in general. But I'm saying like. That sometimes your experience with you and Dad getting on has been like, dude, I can't even shoot anymore.
Yep, and it's like and that was Vanguard, and it was so fast.
But that's not even people. That's not saying that like you're bad, like you're terrible.
No.
But if you haven't been playing,
things have changed. If you can't, here's the thing: if you can't get with it, why play it?
So I get complaints where it's like, guys, I'm just trying to get on and play the game, and I'm getting booty blasted. It's like I understand. That's not what you're saying, but I'm saying like some people who are like, look, guys, I'm trying, and everybody's so fast, I can't do anything.
Plus, for me, I've really learned that even at that age, to be honest, multiplayer FPSs weren't really my game that I played a lot. Like strictly on multiplayer.
Yeah,
I was mostly not and that's something I learned is that I was never much of that in the first place. I mean, I always kind of idealized those eras, but did I really do it that much?
Yeah, it's the same thing. You're right. It's the same thing that I do with Halo. Like, I played Halo a lot, but mostly I played Infection with the boys.
Yeah,
it wasn't. I wasn't like going online and team doubles.
Yeah,
I had to go through phases where I would do that a lot. But compared to Call of Duty, I didn't play it. Nearly the same amount.
Not even close.
Yeah, just like you probably. Would you say you played Halo more than Call of Duty online when you were younger?
I played about equal because here's the thing.
I do have memories of COD 4 playing Vacant and you having a shotgun.
Yeah,
I played
like a little tyrant COD 4 running around. Was a blast. But the thing is, For me, I'm not gonna sit here pounding my fist on the window anymore. And
Or are
being
you
like,
just using a shotgun and just running
Oh, it was a
around
blast,
and
dude.
vaking on those guys?
it was a blast. It was a blast. It was an era to be alive, and I'm glad. I'll
How
still
old
always
were you
think
then? You were so young.
I was probably.
Because I was like 14.
So it was
or something, or
2007.
13?
It was. I was
Oh.
almost 10. I was almost 10.
Okay. Oh shoot, I was so young. That's when COD 4 came out?
Yeah, 2007. I was almost like 10.
Okay.
Very close to being
So
10.
I was
I'm
like 14,
8 or
15,
9
14.
playing this game, shooting people
That was so fun.
with a shotgun. And that's the thing is
Our nephew's just playing.
the era. The thing is
Same
that.
age.
Oh yeah, that era.
He's coming into a game like this, which
Yep,
is
he
crazy.
and that's the thing. He's gonna excel at it because he has all that time to kind of improve and get interested in it.
Yeah, and that's up to me to say that anyone can't do that. I'm just saying
No.
that it's different. So if people who are like, let's say someone hasn't played COD in like 8 years, 7 years, like, let me try a new COD game. I haven't in a while. They're going to be like, oh, what in the heck?
You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of like old Star Wars fans talking about the prequels. They're like, "Oh, hey, dude, these are terrible. Why are they so like fast? Why is there no slow stuff? Like, why is there no practical effects? Blah 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 blah." It's very similar,
Yeah.
and it's like, dude, it's the way it is, dude. It's different. It had to expand. Like these things have to expand and change. It's just how it is. Certain things have to change. Especially video games. Video games do have to change.
Everything does.
Yes, it has.
And in a way, like, you got to keep up somewhat. You got to move up forward somewhat.
Yes,
A lot
especially
of it's going to be crap moving forward. A lot of it's going to be good moving forward.
The thing is, are you gonna? It's like with the old Zeldas. I almost made a video on this. I was like, okay, look, they're not gonna bring them back for probably decades. I'm not gonna lie to you. They may one day.
What is it?
The Zelda formula. The Zelda formula.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Like, look, this is the thing.
Hopefully it's less time than that.
Breath of the Wild, I'll say, is a bad case because what's nice about COD to me is that it kept what made it good, the gunplay. That's the thing I'll say.
That's what I think. Even when a COD is like, even if you're like,
yes,
if you're like, this wasn't that good, at least shooting the guns is fun.
Yes, that's the best part about the game.
So there's always like something, and I think that's part of the reason everybody comes back to is they're like, you're not getting a game that's gonna be like COD in the sense of like the gunplay for COD is like crack,
and it's almost impossible to replicate.
It's like people aren't replicating. They just aren't.
It's impossible. Think about it. It's probably a guarded secret, a closely guarded secret when it comes to
And it's okay. And it's okay, like to yeah, I think that's what people come back to COD for in general.
And that's what I give COD. That's one thing I'll give COD. See, with Zelda, they just threw the baby out with the bathwater. They said, "Oh, guess what? We're done. Classic formula. Everything's done. Dungeons done. All that."
Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem: is you're abandoning what made you good. That's something, and people are starting to notice that. People are starting to rise up and be like, okay, where's the dungeons? Everyone's
and see, in that way, for us, it's like, I understand people liking it.
Yeah, that's fine.
But for us, it's like, for us, that would be a game that I wouldn't really want to play that bad. But I'm not getting on here.
No.
Well, actually, we have trashed it.
Yeah, but we're older men now. We're older men. We've been through a lot of hate circles in our lives.
You just start to get to a point where you, even for yourself, I'm not going to be a hypocrite here. Even me, I'm like, okay, I'm getting sick of hearing myself.
Same. I'm getting sick of hearing myself complain. And that's the thing. That's why I haven't made.
I just want to like games and move on.
And this is the thing. The Zelda, like,
this is the thing. It isn't that serious. I think that could go through and through. Like, bro, it ain't that serious.
No.
And I've taken it too serious.
Same.
On many levels.
Same. It's like, dude, if I want to play a good Zelda game for me, I'll just go back and play Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
What, like that? That's the thing. And another thing about that is, dude, do you really think Nintendo, who's repeated the same formula for every series, is going to permanently abandon something? Heck no.
Hopefully not.
I don't believe that, because I don't believe that for a second. They can
I doubt
say
they will.
They've been like, "Oh, dude, we'll never make Majora's Mask 3D. They said that. We will never have Majora's Mask 3D. It'll never happen. And it did. That's the thing with people. They don't understand. Nintendo hears you. As much as I give them crap.
As much as they're ignoring you most of the time.
They hear you in that area because they know there's money. And where money is, they're going to be like,
that's where we would like to play.
Yes. And that's what they need to realize. People need to realize that they will listen at some point. They're not stupid. Think about Sega. You remember the Dreamcast? Failed horribly.
I have a Dreamcast
and it was cool.
in my closet right now.
It was cool.
Sonic Adventures 1 on that Dreamcast.
It was awesome.
Cream de la cream of experiences.
Amazing. That's an interesting way to describe it. It was an amazing. It was amazing. It was an amazing. It was an amazing experience. It was an amazing experience. But it was also very like this is the thing. Sega was ahead of the game because they were like, oh, even though we have the Dreamcast out, we're going to put this everywhere. We're going to put Sonic Adventure on GameCube, on every platform we can possible. Yeah. It's on everything now. It's literally on everything.
Sonic's on everything. The Switch. I'm glad it is.
And that's the thing that's what I brought up in my video, that you have these diehard pessimists who are like, oh, dude, nothing can change. Everything changes.
Yeah.
Everything changes.
Yeah.
And so I'm not going to sit here negatively being like, oh, Nintendo, why are you doing this? I'm going to optimistically sit here and be like, well, what did Sega do? Same thing. Sega was at the top, dude. They were with Nintendo. They were the only things competing at the time. And with COD, people need to realize that it's like, dude, just give it up. That's all I wanted to say is give it up.
Yeah.
Dude.
I mean, yeah. And with everything, like I said, I don't think there's anything wrong with being like, hey,
no,
this is kind of not great. This is kind of, because feedback's good.
Yes.
But just have fun, dude.
Just have
Not everyone
fun.
needs to hear what you like or don't like about the game. Just
No.
play the dang game. Obviously, I could find something wrong with it if I want.
You could find something wrong with any game.
One thing I wanted to segue to real quick was, it's just like people going on Twitter. So I was on Twitter, and I'm scrolling, and I see people say something positive because I follow a lot of gamers on there.
Yeah.
And like, I see people talk about stuff, and I'm like, oh, that looks like an interesting game. It's a cool recommendation. Like, that's a cool recommendation, and then it's a hashtag ad, and you're just like, you can't trust anybody's ad review.
No, dude, you can't trust that at all, man. Have you seen the YouTuber products are terrible? You know, the freaking Raycon earbuds are not that good.
Are they not?
No, I've heard tell that they're awful.
That's hilarious.
They're awful. And all these services that they puppet are like terrible. Oh, dude, established titles, the most obvious.
It was one that I was like, oh, that game, I wanted to try that game. It looked cool. And then I see that they're talking about how amazing it is and how we need to play it.
It's amazing. You need to play this game. Raid Shadow Legends.
No, I'm trying to think of what. That's a good one. And probably shockingly wasn't it.
Which is, the game they have to keep constantly puppeting and parroting.
I'm kind of shocked. I don't know if it's just to boost their numbers. The Raid Shadow Legends thing is interesting because I have heard it's not like a horrible game.
It's not a terrible game.
But it's interesting because streamers will do these programs where like they'll get on and play, and if you download it and use their code, their number goes up, and then they make more like potential money the whole time. And that's interesting because it's like there's no way those people are keeping that game.
No.
You know what I mean? So
no,
it's like
there's no way they're actually
so you
playing
just do that
it.
just to boost. It's almost like you're just trying to boost their download numbers.
Oh, they are. They are trying to boost it. Think about it. Well, I guarantee they also use bots too, guaranteed to boost They have all that stuff running together. They're marketing geniuses in some ways.
Yeah. I mean, dude, who doesn't know what that is? Raid Shadow Legends.
Yep. Everybody knows what that is.
And I know Matt's played it.
They know about it as much as.
It's not that bad. It's like not a bad game.
No, it's not a terrible game.
I haven't played it, so I can't speak to it for my opinion. But basically, what I'm trying to say is, I can't remember which game it was today that was like. I saw the ad and it was like ridiculous. I gotta look at what. I'm gonna grab my phone real quick. It's right here because I have to know. It was like the most hilarious
you need to check
ad.
it out. But I don't understand. Yeah,
I'll find it in like 2 seconds.
Those guys are marketing geniuses. That's what I'll say. They know what they're doing. I don't even know what who made Raid Shadow Legends. Who made Raid Shadow Legends? I'll even look it up. You got me curious now.
Oh, it's Power Washing Sim.
Oh, Power Washing Sim, dude. I've seen so many
this looks
people.
This looks not bad. It's like a relaxing, funny game.
Yeah, dude, I've seen that.
So she goes. This is what the title is. It goes. This game is so incredibly satisfying. And you gotta watch this.
You guys how much I like this game. This feels like it's gonna be a problem, but a good problem in my life. I have to message my friends. Guys,
That looks.
You have to play Power Washing Sim. This game rocks. Guys, play this game.
This advertising is
Sponsor
terrible.
that I'm going to genuinely endorse, back up, put my name on. It is this one. The Shrek DLC is available on all platforms.
Yeah, dude, this is the most. That is the most. I miss when companies used to just make ads for that stuff and just.
How? So I was like, oh, she likes Power Washing Sim. I've heard a lot of people like that.
Yeah, so many people like
and
it.
then she's like in the ad, like chatting in Discord to her friends, like you need to play this. I'm like, guys, what level is this? Like not ethical anymore.
I agree.
Like
it's like, dude, you're really. Plus, they're really trying to get in with the young crowd. You can tell they have to have some streamer going, "Hey, check it out! I endorse this crazy thing."
Of course, I'm like, yo, make money where you can. Like,
yes.
I get that. You don't know how popular you're going to be forever.
Now it depends. It depends on the sponsorships. Some of them are straight up scummy.
There are times where I'm like, guys, at what level is this like not appropriate?
Yes, you're
Because
emotionally.
It's not a review. I like that they have to put ad. Obviously, that's nice.
But you are emotionally manipulating your audience to get this thing.
Yeah, like especially when you say, "Hey, if you do this, it'll help me out." It's like, like people are buying that because they think they're like helping you.
Yeah, a creator, and in my mind, I would never support. For me, it's like, look, if you want to support a creator, that's fine. But I have not supported a single creator. The only creators I've supported are actual businesses because I bought their crap.
I've only ever subbed to, like, with my own Amazon Prime, Twitch Prime was GrowScore one time.
Oh, that fellow.
And I think Lucari once as well.
Yeah, never heard of that guy.
He's funny, but GrowScore's off the rails, so I don't even like.
Yeah,
watch
he
him
went
anymore, but,
way off the rails.
But yeah, so I don't know. It was rough because I feel like they should be able to be. It's partly the company's fault too. Where obviously the company's not going to want bad press.
No,
but it's like at a certain point, dude. Can you not just let people be honest about stuff?
I agree. I don't understand this constant need to be like, hey, this is a really cool product.
Like, I feel like you're better off giving someone something for free and being like, hey, talk about it if you want. You can be honest. Don't talk about it if you want.
You know what I think is a better idea is the whole promo code thing they have. They have their little promo codes. Like, Audible. I would never use an Audible promo code. But I'm saying that's...
Oh, because then you can try it.
Yeah, you can try it free for 7 months or something.
Yeah, that's
actually, true. Like, those are actually good sponsorships.
We can test it out.
Yes, we can test it out. Not you. We don't care about your opinion.
Because we know what you're going to say.
Yeah, we don't care what
you
want
us to download it and use your promo code. We know what you want.
Or let's say, like I said, or let's say, some people, old sponsorships were nice because it was just recommending, like the microphones were on. These would probably be sponsored somewhere. Like these are actually, like for tech.
Yeah.
For tech, I'll say. I do trust people more for like microphones and stuff. I trust people.
Yeah, but
way more
there's so many people who aren't doing like hashtag ads for tech.
That's true.
If you look at tech's where it's a little bit different, where they're sending you stuff to honestly review something.
Yes.
Not to That is one scenario where it's like, yeah, when you're trying to look for a mic or like a phone.
Yeah.
Most people aren't sponsored by the phone.
No.
They're like just getting it sent to them and using it for.
Not at all. Not at all.
That's where I like it a lot more. That's an interesting. It isn't so bad. Games it's just through the it's
Yeah,
up,
games
it's
it's
on the crapshoot. It's like
Dude.
when it comes to
battle tanks. Like they'll bring up something like
World of
they'll-
Tanks,
World
World
of
of
Tanks.
Warships.
I'm sure there's something called battle tanks out there too.
Yeah.
There's probably some, and it's made by some
Dude,
company in a
Battletanks is an
sweatshop.
old 64 game I used to love.
A sweatshop, like, oh hey, buy this.
Yeah,
Underpaid like interns probably desperately trying to make this game. Just think about it. It's funny, dude. Mobile games are like I said, they're the crack den of gaming. You are going for the lowest. Some are cool.
I've played from somebody who literally was trying to make a channel of mobile games. I have played so many, and someone who still keeps up with like new stuff coming into the just to look at it into the space. I don't want to say it's dead because it's popping off, but it's like it's getting like worse than Steam on levels of anyone could just throw an app on there, and you're like.
You're saying innovation is dead. Like, no one's innovating.
No one's doing it like Supercell.
No.
Even close.
Supercell is killing it, and that's the thing.
COD Mobile isn't terrible.
COD Mobile
But
is
who's seriously, who's playing a shooter on your phone?
No, I mean, dude, PC bros.
And I'm
you
not
have a
even
PC,
dissing him.
Console bros, you have a console.
I'm not
play
even
it on
dissing
those.
people. I played it. I
you
played.
did.
I
It was
ranked
fun.
up to the top ranks.
It was fun watching your channel. You had a channel too that I kept throwing ads in on mine, like I was sponsoring.
Yeah, that like.
Check out Bren Mobile.
Making the content was fun, but like what I'm saying is, it gets to a point where I'm like, why wouldn't I just play a shooter on my computer or
Yes,
on my console?
why not play
any day of the week?
actual
Like-
real games?
That's where shooter wise, it's just not where you're gonna get the right advantage.
No.
That's why Clash of Clans is perfect because it's an RTS, but like a way different.
You'd be better going to Steam and looking for a crapware
Yeah.
game at that point than that.
You like we've talked about with mobile games before. You want to play a game on mobile that you'd rather play on your phone than PC.
Yes, and
That's what you want. Clash of Clans, I would rather be using my
Yes,
fingers than a mouse.
same, especially for that game because it's just plopping things down. It's not an RTS. It's not an actual
Clash Royale.
RTS.
I'd much rather be on my phone playing it than on the computer playing
Those
it.
games were specifically designed for phones.
Brawl Stars. Much rather be playing it on
Oh,
my
yeah.
phone than I would be playing it. That's what I'm saying. Where it's like, that's what you want. And there's not a lot of games
No.
that I'd rather play on my phone than on the computer.
Not many
or
at
on my
all.
console.
Not many at all.
Little to none.
I remember when I was really young, I played like a Crash Bandicoot racing game on the phone, and it was actually not bad. That's the funny part.
Nice.
It was kind of like CTR a little bit, not as good as Crash Team Racing, but it was still good because I love Crash Team Racing, dude. That game was a legendary game.
Dude, that is such a good game.
It was
100%.
better than Mario Kart, dude. It was better than Mario Kart, I feel.
That's crazy, but it is good.
It's like Diddy Kong Racing, dude. I just feel like
Diddy Kong
those were
Racing, I
better.
do think is better.
It's because
it's a
the
variety.
it's because there was something different.
Dude, I used to get in the plane in Diddy Kong Racing because there was the open
Oh,
world.
dude, that was the best thing
UI.
ever.
Or the overworld.
Oh, yeah,
or
just
whatever.
flying
I would
around it.
fly around the overworld for hours.
Dude, it was the best
Not
thing.
even
It was
racing.
the best thing ever. And that's what's funny. They add a little component at the beginning of the game where you just fly around and like to select stages, and it's like funner than
I
the.
would play that around for hours. And then the races could be sometimes you were on a hovercraft,
Oh yeah,
sometimes
dude.
you're in a car, sometimes you're on an airplane.
It's like
How do
Mario
you beat
Kart.
being in an airplane?
My problem with Mario Kart is it's so limited, where it's just like they tried to add the crazy gimmicks, with the weird like going on the walls with the magnets and going underwater. And
Oh,
I
like
was
in the
like,
new ones?
you were adding too much to me.
The new ones, yeah.
It's like it's a cool idea because you're mixing it up, right? But when you put it in a remake of a stage, sometimes they do that, and it's
Mhm.
like, why would you put those there? They don't belong
I'd
there.
rather have just the classic.
Just let the classic stage be the
Yeah.
way it is.
I had a lot of fun. The drifting in the new ones are very fun.
Drifting. I'll say the worst game to drift in was like Mario Kart 64 was the worst game to drift
God,
in.
It's not even like possible.
Not
At least
possible.
for me.
Same with the SNES. I played the SNES Mario Kart, Super Mario Kart, and that game was
Me and my friend, probably had like a good month where we would come over like twice a week and we play it like at night. Super Nintendo one.
It is actually really good.
So fun.
It is really good.
It's so hard though.
But I will say, like I said, I didn't play it in ideal circumstances.
I've never raged at a game more than that game when we were playing those nights.
It is. Here's the thing. It is a skill to be even decent at that game because the controls are so different from every other Mario Kart. Think about it. All you had was a D-pad.
It's not easy.
All you have is a D-pad, and it was also just sprites. There was no 3D at all. It was just a bunch of sprites chucked together on a screen, tilted upwards, and it looked 3D at the time.
It did.
And its music, I'll say, in my opinion, that some of the music in that game is the best in the series.
Me too. I love the music in that game.
Even I may even say a little bit better than Mario Kart 64's, even though I love that soundtrack.
Yeah.
And we've rambled.
Where are we at?
We're at 50 minutes. We got like 10 minutes left.
Yeah. So, should we do spooky games a different time?
We will not do that till we
next
reconvene.
week. Or?
Yeah, till we reconvene next week.
Okay. Yeah, because we kind of want.
We'll tease it.
I was thinking we would talk about the ads more, just because of how I feel like how shady it is.
Oh, we can still talk about it. We got like 10 minutes.
Just because of how shady it is, because does feel shady.
No, dude, every ad is shady. All these things are shady. These people, they don't care about like these products at all. You can tell. They're like, hey, buy this. Do you remember those ads for that stupid game where you run in a straight line and shoot things?
Yeah,
like Total War or something.
Yeah.
You're it's like, oh, dude.
They're like, oh, it's just like the ads.
It's like, oh, I'm gonna see if this isn't like the ads. It's just like the ads.
Yeah.
It's
because
like,
I think originally the game they released wasn't anything like the ads.
No, and they did make it like that.
And then because the ads were, people wanted to play whatever game that they made up in the ads so badly that they actually made the game.
Why? It's like, why? I don't understand it.
I don't know, dude.
I don't get it. It's like it's the same with the Rise of Kingdoms. That guy. It's like, dude, that is obviously. Yeah, that guy was embarrassing. You know, rest in peace, his videos, because I cannot find them for crap anymore.
Seriously, me neither.
It's unfortunate. It's probably buried under thousands of they've made thousands of ads for that. And they're all like, dude, my wife left me or my girlfriend left me or something like that because I played this game too much. Like, that's actually
they'll talk about their power level and then they'll get into a club or
yep, they'll be like, oh, I chose this nation,
3 million power,
and I chose
this is a VIP
nation.
section for 6 million power and above.
And it's stupid. It's like, dude, what are these people trying to do with these ads?
Rise of Kingdoms. I don't know what they're trying to do with these ads.
What makes them? What's the mentality behind it?
Something about it is I can't tell if it's stupid, if they're doing it because they're stupid or because they're smart. Because
they make it look so stupid.
Because I remember it.
Mafia City, dude. Remember those ads where there's
half those ads aren't even the same. They're not even accurate to what the game is.
You hear a guy going ha ha ha, and then it's level 1 thug to level. And
there's they show chicks with big old boobies and stuff like that.
Yep, and they're showing this to kids too. It's like, what is wrong with these people?
Did you?
It's so bad.
I'm trying to think of, dude. One of the best ads that I actually liked was Legend 27.
Oh, that was good.
Actually really
I did
liked
see
it.
that.
Those were someone actually put effort into their ads.
Well, they actually cared, and it made the game enticing. It kind of harkened back to how old the video game ads were done as a whole. They'd have live action bits. I don't remember what the game was.
It? I have to look up.
But it might be Rise of Kingdoms.
Was it? I feel like it was.
Might be. It seems like something they do. But
that's what makes me think of
who knows?
Was it for? Why would they dumb down their commercials from the Legend 27
to that crap? I have no clue.
It's Summoner's War. Not.
Oh, I've never even heard of that.
Of course.
But it's funny that they it's like old video game ads. It used to just be live action footage of a guy jumping around. Let's say it was Assassin's Creed. You would have an actual guy or a really photorealistic trailer. And it was cool because it wasn't 100% accurate, but it was something. And with mobile games, they need to do that, not just have this crappy thing where they have a guy go, ha, 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 and make weird noises.
And it's not what the game is like at all.
No, you don't even get to see anything.
like a UI only game. Like
Yep. Do you remember the one where you open up the thing? It's like a puzzle game where you open up these things, and so this guy doesn't like drown or whatever.
like the fire, the waterfalls.
Yeah,
So,
those.
let me see if I can get these keys.
Yeah, it's
And you're
stupid.
like, getting keys for what?
You're standing still. Like, what? What is the appeal to
Oh,
this?
I didn't get the treasure. It's like
Who cares? Who cares?
and it's pretty clear. You like should put the lava first,
the
then the
easiest
water,
stuff.
then you can
the
walk
easiest,
over it.
like elementary puzzles, dude.
There's
Elementary
no
puzzles.
way that that's what the game's like. There's
No.
no way it
No,
looks
no,
anything
no,
like
no,
that. I bet
no.
money it doesn't look like.
Period. That's terrible. It's so bad. I seriously don't understand. I get wanting to, I get wanting to advertise your game, but you gotta be accurate with it, dude. Show me the game. Don't just show me this stupid 3D thing. And then people are like, I'd rather have I don't know if this is children being like, Mommy, I see this game. Can I buy it with a credit card? Like, I don't know if it's these kids like seeing this stuff and be like, this is a really good game.
Mhm.
And then when they get older, they're like, what was this trash that I was like
Yeah.
looking at? It's like, it has to be either that or people who have never played games in like countries that are like way out there. It has to be one of those two.
Yeah, it's why it's the statistic of like people are always like mobile gaming most popular like gaming outlet. It's like yeah, because everybody has a phone.
Yes, that's the
Like,
thing.
That's why.
Dude, yeah, it's ridiculous. It's like saying, dude, YouTube. It's like doing YouTube with a phone versus
Also,
a computer.
Clash of Clans you can play on a potato.
Like, most people don't edit it's like saying, dude, computers are the most popular editing platform for video editors. It's like
What was it?
computers being the most popular like platform for video editing, because I'm sure there are phone editors out there. It's like, dude, most people have a PC that's good enough to edit a video. Yes, dude. It's like, what are they thinking? These people are like, dude, it's very niche. Like I said, with mobile gaming.
I'm just saying when you say that, it's like the most grossing. It's like yeah, because you guys can be the most
Yes.
gross when it comes to
You can be the most gross with practices, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
I played
exactly.
a game, a hilarious game that one of my friends showed me, and it was it was called Mr. Meat, and it was like a horror game that was like Granny,
Okay.
and it had like a story where you had to save like these people, this
Mr. Meat.
girl. Yeah, it was the weirdest game ever. I streamed it,
Okay.
and I did not save the VOD of it, unfortunately, but it was a game that was very it was pretty fun. It was a little deeper than Granny was, but every time you wanted to reload the gun, you had to look at an ad.
Oh yeah.
And it was terrible.
bad.
That was terrible.
I've had horror games where when you die, they let you like get another life if you watch an ad.
but this was like,
That's
you can't
bad.
you can't shoot this guy without
Did it
that.
have good ratings?
Yeah, it did, I think.
Let me
Yeah,
look
it did.
at Mr. Meat.
Yep, Mr. Meat. It is
Is
the
it still a
weirdest. It probably still is. I played it on BlueStacks a couple years ago, so
Ah yes, BlueStacks.
back when I was against using an actual phone,
I mean, I don't blame you.
which especially for a single player horror game, dude. I'd rather to play it on my
Mr.
actual
Meat.
system, yeah. It could have changed completely. I have no idea what it's like now. But it was it is not
it's still around.
it is not a high quality game though.
4.2.
Yep.
4.2. 50 million downloads.
Yep. And that's the thing. I've realized, dude.
It looks better graphically than Granny does.
Yeah, the guy put more time into it. And here's the biggest problem with that, though. Like, dude, you're telling me, and this ties into advertising, It ties into advertising where it's like mobile gaming, I don't know how. It's like, obviously it's going to be popular, like we said, because no duh, it's on a phone.
Well, that's why when they brag about, like, it's actually the most popular of, like, yeah, because the amount of people who can just be like, oh, I'm on a train. Let me whip my phone out and play a game. I'm bored.
Yes.
Like, you're not going to bring your Xbox on the
No,
train.
no. You're not going to bring anything on the train.
Like, your Xbox stays home. Your
Yes,
PC,
your PC
laptop for the
stays
most,
home.
If you have a PC, stays home. Like,
If you have a Steam Deck, yeah, you can take it, but that's the thing. That's a very
most
niche
people
thing.
aren't like bringing their big Steam
no,
Deck around.
No,
to,
especially
like,
on a
play
train,
stuff.
a long trip,
Yeah.
a vacation.
Like, I would
Who'd do that?
I would sooner bring my Switch before I brought like a Steam Deck.
Because that's way too fancy. You don't want to lose that thing.
Yeah.
You don't want to lose it. It's like you don't want to lose any of this stuff. It's way more important.
But you bet your cheeks I'm playing Clash of Clans on a vacation.
Yeah, dude.
It's on my phone.
Because it's on your phone and you can whoop it out for 5 seconds. You're not playing a full game on your vacation. I tried that on.
That's just part of the reason. Plus, there's third world countries around there where people have phones and not other things, and
people don't factor this in. They're like, "Oh, dude, it's the most popular." In the U.S., no, not even close. Not even close. We even looked into the statistics.
Statistically, I know.
It's
know
always
for
like
a fact. India is a big one. China.
Yes.
But China's kind of big on like everything.
China makes almost everything. It probably made the mics we're speaking into right now. Which, hats off to you, sweatshop workers. Thank you for doing what you had to do for this.
What you literally had
to do. Unfortunately, I wish you'd not have to do it, but unfortunately, that's how it is.
Yeah.
See if that even makes the cut, but probably not.
That's not even that. I mean, it's just a joke.
Yeah.
We're just like... Anyway.
Yeah.
America's definitely like farther behind on.
Yeah, dude. Why would
I shouldn't say behind. It's actually
they're ahead. They're so ahead in gaming space that now, dude, we think about it. For them in India,
China's not a good example because they're not really behind either. But there's a lot of mobile gamers in China. Like for some reason, Asia.
Do you know what? India.
India.
I think they still
huge on mobile.
They had PS2 games into 2010s, dude, possibly past. They kept having PS2 games, which to me sounds freaking awesome.
Yeah, me too.
Because I love the play. Dude, I would still buy PS2 games if they were still being made today.
I mean, if you play PUBG Mobile, there's so many Indian people.
Oh yeah, dude,
there.
it's
insane.
It's like you're never gonna find an American dude in these games. Not Clash of Clans is different because it's like universal. Like Clash is universal. People will play it here, but freaking PUBG Mobile.
Clash of Clans is because we just play PUBG.
Yeah, Apex Mobile. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. I did grind that pretty heavy.
And you did.
I almost got to Predator.
It was probably easier than the actual game.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Probably better for you.
Well, you're already at an advantage because there's a lot of people playing it who don't play shooters on mobile.
Dude, I don't know what it is with mobile shooting games.
They're terrible. They
for
feel
some
terrible.
Reason, people, especially people on there, are even worse than the game itself. Yeah. I don't know how.
And then you get to a level where everybody's cracked, and then it's just like, okay, I'm not putting the time into.
Yeah, and you got to Legend, and that was probably what happened in COD Mobile.
COD Mobile. It actually was more. Yeah, you're right. It got insane.
You were like, "Oh my gosh, these people are
so
good."
Not missing.
Meanwhile, the first couple of people you had at the beginning rank were getting melted. I remember those montages, dude. Oh
my gosh, yeah. I mean, there's bots, but there's also people that are just not.
It's hilarious how bad. Is it just because people don't have access to shooting games? I'm assuming that's why.
I don't know.
That has to be why.
I also don't really know what yeah. It's pretty crazy. COD Mobile is a pretty good game. PUBG Mobile's also not a bad game.
No.
But they're both games have games on console and on PC. So why would I ever?
Why do that? Why do that? That's the thing. And for those people, they probably never touched a COD game. Think about it. It's even worse for them.
But for them, they could think the opposite. Because you think about it, I would rather play a shooter game on my controller any day. But
they'd probably be like, dude.
I feel like that's even in the minority compared to people who wanted to play it on PC, like keyboard and mouse.
Oh, yeah. And people like, dude. Or
real hardcore gamers always want to do that.
The crazy boys. Some of those guys are nuts. I don't know how
Sony controllers, which is interesting.
Oh, yeah. PlayStation stuff. Dude, you don't want me to be honest about Sony? Want me to be honest about it? It reminds me of Apple. People have this, look. People have this view of this stuff, right? They have this perspective oh, dude, it's fast, it's sleek, it's a vision. But then the problem is, once you, like I said, we switched to Macs for some very unstrained, awful reason. We switched to a Macs for a year. This was 2014,
Yeah.
right? It's 2014.
Yeah.
We switched those. Yeah, they run fine. But the problem is you're like, oh, I want a game on this thing. Immediately install Windows. Immediately install Windows.
Yeah, it was funny because I had a skewed. I didn't know PCs and stuff that well then, so I was playing Guild Wars 2 on like a Sony laptop. It was like trash.
Oh, dude.
That I had to like go into the program because they like
Did they downscale it?
they don't let you play the game. They're like, oh, you don't have the right. It won't
Specs,
look
yeah.
or run like we want it, so we won't let. They wouldn't let the game run. But you can go into the actual game files and remove that,
Oh, dude.
so you can still play. I had to do the same thing
you
for
modded, dude.
I had to do the same thing for Diablo 3.
Welcome to the
So
modding
Guild Wars
crowd.
2 and Diablo 3, I was playing on something that like, which shockingly didn't run it. I would be curious to see how bad it actually was because at the time I was like, this is better than I thought.
There's no way it was that bad, dude. The Macs were so bad. Like, seriously.
Well, this is where my thing was skewed because the Max ran it and looked way nicer and ran way better than what I was using.
Yes.
But it's because I was using a Sony laptop
that was
that
old.
probably didn't even have an onboarding.
on
It had to be like a
graphics.
step above a Chromebook, like if even.
Oh, yeah. It was
Well, it had to
probably a
have been.
step above, guaranteed.
Because it had onboard. It actually had a graphics.
Yeah.
I think it had an onboard graphics.
It
card.
wasn't like this crappy thing that they slapped together for kids at
Yeah.
schools.
So I was literally just like. So well, at the time, like what you were saying, my thoughts were skewed on because I was like, "Whoa, Matt's Mac run like this looks beautiful." Mine was
Whoa.
like blurry. It was like
Oh, yeah. Low res.
I would get FPS drops like crazy, but it was super blurry. But I just was so obsessed with those games, I didn't care.
There's a point where you get used to low FPS if you play a game enough. That's the thing. What you don't get used to is low res. Dude, once you've seen high res, you're basically spoiled for the rest of your life. You try to play a game that's like 480, you're like,
That's true.
it's so
I
bad,
have.
dude.
I
It's
would. That's why I
seriously
would
so
be
bad.
curious to see what it looked like. I wish I like had a video or something of it.
I've thought of just the stupidest thing ever. I thought of just getting a crappy PC just to run my retro games without having to like download
Any weird stuff?
any abandonware, which
Yeah.
those are nice. They're really good. They come with patches that have them at higher resolution. Like there's way better, like the Iron Man game. A dude made a whole like 1080p 4K res stuff. It's way better than it ran, and you can up the frame rate. But I'd be curious just to play it in the original way that I played it, that Iron Man game.
Yeah,
At the original
it's fun to do
resolution.
that. It's fun to like see.
It's fun to see. It'd probably be terrible. Probably
Yeah.
unplayable.
I think Diablo. Well, I did Diablo 3. It wasn't as bad. Guild Wars it was probably
Oh,
way worse
dude.
than I think.
Yeah.
Because we would play World vs. World, which is like there's so many players on there. So I was probably just like froze. But I feel like that's why I chose some of the classes I was, so I could be farther away from the action and shoot from far away, so I
Oh,
wasn't
yeah.
like inside of the actual. But I didn't realize I had to Google for so long, being like, "Oh," and she's like, "Can you go in the game files and remove this restriction?" Like, and you can.
And you can.
And that's how much I didn't know. That's how bad. Like, I didn't know about gaming or anything. I was just using what I had.
Like, dude, can I use this? Dude, it's the same as me when I used
And dude, imagine me. I bought the freaking Diablo 3 game. I'm mad because I'm like, I just paid $60 for this and I can't play it because they're saying it won't run. I was like, what if I don't care? You shouldn't decide if I'm running it on this or not because it's not what
Yeah,
you want me to.
yeah.
I'm not going to complain.
No.
Like, you shouldn't be able to stop me from
I agree
playing
with
it
you,
on a crappy device.
especially with games like that, dude. And that's one thing I'll say with Diablo and the games you were playing. They could run on that thing, which was cool.
Diablo did. Guild Wars did. It was rough, but it did.
was rough, but it's like, dude,
Diablo was like, I would freeze sometimes.
I'm
but not
sick
much.
of. You want me to be honest? What I'm sick of? I'm sick of games needing to run on particular hardware, dude. My advice is, I'm not saying, every guy with a toaster should be able to play a game, right? But I'm saying, dude, we don't need to be having graphics look this crazy.
Yeah.
Come on.
No,
like,
I agree.
Like, in a way that's limiting gaming and making things harder for people.
Yeah.
It's like, dude,
I totally
your
agree.
Xbox, like you brought up, your Xbox was cooking when you were just trying to play freaking Dragon Ball.
Sparking Zero, yeah.
Sparking Zero.
I mean, it was getting hot.
But it still sucks that it's like
yeah.
it still sucks that you have to be like, oh, am I gonna overheat this
I know.
thing?
I was like, I don't know. We'll
it's
find out.
nerve-wracking. Why? Like,
I would be a lot more nerve-wracking if it was on my PC than if I was on my.
well, yeah, because
like
that's
if my
a whole
PC's
other
getting hot, I'm
story.
like, I'm way more worried about that.
well, yeah, because it's
My Xbox, I'm like, I'll just get another series.
that's true. But I'm
Yes.
saying like this shouldn't be happening. Period, dude. We shouldn't have things cooking. We shouldn't. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's one thing I would change, nostalgia-wise. Stop making like there. You can make a game. Like I said, I played Dying Light. Thing doesn't even like the thing runs perfectly on anything I have. Anything. I bet you I could use a potato. This thing.
It's really strange that Diablo did work fairly well after I removed that restriction. So it obviously can.
Yes.
Nowadays, it's different.
Oh, dude, it's because and you know why it is? It's because, dude, they want to get the next GPU to sell.
No, for sure, I know. I get
and it's
it,
like,
but
dude, why is this a thing?
I was just very surprised at how well,
It's ridiculous to
Oh.
me.
yeah, I would be curious to try that again too, just to see like, oh, how bad did this actually look?
Same, dude.
But I had to look up videos on how to remove it, and dude, thank God, because I was so excited to play it, and I was like, once I found out there was a way to remove it, I was like, thank God, there's a way to remove it.
That's always the best thing ever when you find an exploit that changes everything. Thankfully, every game I played, back when I was a young buck, when we had Halo 1 on PC, it ran fine. It ran fine, dude. Stuff ran fine. You didn't need some fancy schmancy
it ran
processor.
pretty well, like, honestly. So, I don't know. It just, I guess their vision of what they want it to look like and feel like, they just don't want you to be below that for some reason.
It's stupid. Dude, who cares? That's why, in my opinion, I feel like AAA will suffer from that someday. It will suffer from the fact that they have to go crazy with the graphics. You will. There will be a point where you can't. There will be a stopping point. I firmly believe there will be a stopping point. You're wasting so much money on this stuff. That's my problem is we need to focus on gameplay. Gameplay is what we need to focus on. Is the gameplay smooth? Does it work well? All we want is a fun game. That's all we want. We don't care about your fancy schmancy lighting.
Some people do care.
For a multiplayer
Which is
game.
hilarious.
Why?
You and I both know somebody who...
Yeah. And that's... it's stupid. It's stupid. It's like, dude, you gotta stop with this constant... I'm not saying we go back to like 16-bit days, but we gotta optimize things. Like, not even just... Like, actually optimize the game itself, not optimize for hardware. We need the game to be optimized, period.
Yeah.
That's the real problem I have with it. It's not, changing gameplay. That's not even a big deal. It's more so, it's more so about how the game runs.
Yeah.
And how it how it runs than how it plays.
Okay, we are 12 minutes
yeah,
over.
We're 12 minutes over. We went all over the place with this episode, but
That was a good episode.
yes,
I felt like.
Especially when we got onto the ads. The ads were the funniest. How bad that was, dude.
Well, we're still working on the set.
We'll see if
It'll
this
be a
episode
long
is even if
process,
we
but-
have bleed through it all. Because, like I said,
I don't think it'll be that bad.
yeah.
There's no way it's going to be so bad we can't
No,
use it.
yeah. And like I said, in post, I can fix whatever.
Anyway, God bless.
God bless,
We'll see you
folks.
next week.
Yep.